My name is Eden. My first journey was 8 years ago now, because I had twin boys in 2017, and they're now going to be 7 this July, so that's exciting. I get a lot of updates from the dads. We've stayed in communication, and that has been probably one of my favorite parts. It's usually birthday updates or Christmas or something, but I get little updates a few times a year, and that's so fun. My first time around, it couldn't have been smoother. I have 3 of my own children, but my first 2 pregnancies, I didn't get to be as comfortable and relaxed. It was a lot of stress in my life for different reasons. And with this one, with my surrogacy one, 2017, it was so easy and just everything was smooth. And I really loved that because that's what I wanted in my own pregnancies previously. And I didn't get that. So this one was kind of like then I thought I did not want any more kids, but I did want to be pregnant one more time. And so it was just kind of the perfect scenario for me. With my first surrogacy, it took the very first time. And I contribute to that, me being younger, I guess. Not exactly sure. This time has been pretty smooth too. I've really liked working with everyone. I've worked with Dr. Lane and her staff. I've enjoyed my time with everybody. We did our second transfer yesterday. So we put the embryo in. I'm on bed rest for the next 5 days. And then in about 2 weeks, we will take the pregnancy tests to see how my numbers look and if my hormone levels are going up, and hopefully they are. So my first experience, I didn't know anyone who had previously done it. So it was all brand new. I had no idea what to expect. I didn't have a lot of expectations. You thought about it for years before I did it. I didn't just jump into it. I knew that going in, not my babies, I'm helping a family. You have to really understand that. So I had all that down, and the whole process was really easy. They made it extremely easy. That right there made it a lot more comfortable for me. I didn't have a lot of contact with the family because it was their first experience, so they didn't know how much I wanted to talk with them, how much was appropriate. We did talk about that stuff, but it still was just a little on the awkward side until the end of the pregnancy. And then things got a lot better. But I don't know, it was too easy. I was carrying twins, and I thought that would be a lot harder on my body. It ended up not being. It was extremely easy. My body just knows what to do. And then towards the end of the pregnancy, I did have them at 35 weeks, which they said with twins, anything after 32 weeks is full term. Both babies were born super healthy, 8 minutes apart. Family was in London, so because the boys were early, sadly, they did miss the birth. They got there the next day. They were trying, but I guess it's harder to get here from England than you would think. And then afterwards, I knew, obviously, the babies were going home with their parents, and I was super excited about that. I absolutely loved seeing them hold them because they'd never even really held babies before. It was very sweet. It was very cute. They let me be a part of it because the parents had to sign saying it was okay because hospital regulations and stuff. Typically, when you're a surrogate, they take the babies out of the room right away and they take them to the NICU and they just keep them separate because you're not the parent. You go in there with everything signed. The hospital, the doctors, they all know it's a surrogacy pregnancy, so they keep you very separate. I was pumping for the babies, and so I got to be a little more involved and just kind of see the parents with their new babies, and that put my mind at ease a lot. I loved that. My oldest now is 20. Then I have a 14-year-old who is counting down the days, 12 days till she turns 15. She wants to get older. I keep telling her not to. And then my 4-year-old son. I talked to them before I decided to do it because they were, at the time, a lot younger. I wanted them to understand, this isn't our baby. We're not getting a baby. We're not keeping the babies. But my girls have always just been extremely understanding and easygoing. So they thought it was fun, but for the most part, we didn't do the traditional pregnancy stuff. There was no baby shower. There was no getting ready. It was just, I kept getting bigger and we just kept living our same normal life. So they were great. They know that we're not biologically related. They like seeing the pictures and the updates too. It is very separate. They have never felt like those are their brothers and they got taken off or anything like that. The girls really understood that they were not ours. And I always explain it as I'm just the oven. I'm just baking the babies. That's it. So I actually do have a cousin now who has done surrogacy, and I like getting to talk to her to share notes. I think that my first time around, it would have been cool to maybe have someone to bond with over that, because I did have a girlfriend who was pregnant. Our babies, the twins and her son, were born 8 days apart. But it was always her baby, and I was always, these weren't my babies, so we didn't get to bond like that. But I think having someone going through the process would have been really cool. And this time I have that, and I love that because she'll send me like updates and she'll text me and ask me, oh, how'd this go or how that go. It's kind of fun to have someone to chit chat with. I think that's the only difference this time going around that I noticed that maybe I did miss out on the first time. I have an awesome family. My mom was in the room with me when I had the twins. I have a great support system, and they love hearing updates and knowing what's going on, but it is a little different because they've never experienced it. So I think that's the only thing I would add to it. So it is the same-sex couple. It's two men, and they were together, I want to say like 20 years. And they just kind of thought, it would never happen. They would never get kids. And then they started their surrogacy journey and their egg donation and all that. And then they found me, and they were skeptical because, they had just gotten kind of their heart broken. So I think that's where it came with the whole them not really knowing how much to contact me. But once the babies were born, the dads were here after I left the hospital. They took me to lunch. We got to sit and talk. We went more in detail about what they were comfortable with sharing, like future things with me. And I have their contact information. I'm allowed to text them and ask them for updates. They're so wonderful. The boys have a great life. They're trilingual. One of their dads is from Paris, so they speak French. They speak English with little accents, which is so cute. And their other dad, what do they speak? Italian. All of his family speaks Italian, so they're trilingual, and they're 7. Well traveled. They play sports. They're in soccer. I guess they're in second year, which I think is like first grade for us. Not a lot, like I said. It's usually birthdays, major holidays, my birthday. They always text me happy birthday, and it's just very sweet. It's very thoughtful. They'll be 7 in just a couple months, and I always get a birthday text. They'll send me Christmas pictures, Halloween. I always get to see them in their costumes. So yeah, it really is. It's really great.